Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kieran Reese, otherwise known as the Obsessed Compulsive Gamer. And I'm back playing more Dark Souls after getting a disastrous glitch that fucked me out of my boss. That is so fucking dumb, dude. Ah, shit. Really? Look at this, 5 years like I think I'm living in shows if 5 years doing what like I was doing. Just go look at my shit's fucking stuff on my hand, it's like my life years. Please remember that huge because of doing yeah. Yeah, I was like, I'm making my life years just like I got nothing else to do. I think that's the 5 years doing it. I don't know why I was doing I was doing it. Lips as sweet as candy. Taste this on my mind. Oh, I think he was watching. I appreciate you. Going down to everybody's favorite place in Dark Souls. No, this is Demons. This is Dark Souls. I'm okay. This is Dark Souls. And yeah, I'm actually gearing up. I have a busy couple of days coming up. Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm playing that tomorrow. I wanted to play that forever. Couldn't afford it. It's coming on Game Pass. I'm going to be streaming that whole game. GTA 5, got the next gen version of that. Going to be streaming that campaign, not online, because fuck online. I love the story mode, and yeah, a lot of people are going to want to watch that and see the next gen version of GTA 5, so hopefully I'll get a lot of hits on that. And meanwhile, I'm probably going to go through the whole Soul series. I mean, I've gone through the whole Soul series. I just haven't streamed it. I want to be able people to go on my channel and just be able to see, oh, he's played every game. Yeah, parry, bitch! Ah, oh, those fucking things. God, I hate those things. God damn it. He got me. Fucking Toxic. Toxic is super poison. Thankfully, all these fucking dart blowers over here that do that, they never respawn, ever. You kill them and they're gone forever. So they're really just kind of a one-time, fuck you. Really? Ooh, shit, that was fucking close. Fucking toxic. Yeah. All I can do is try to make this death a little bit easier on myself. No, wait a minute. Yeah. I just beat the living shit out of you, and you're okay. Actually, that homeward bone just saved my ass. I got toxic, and I was about to die. That's the staple of all the FromSoft games, really. Just get fucking obliterated by lightning. I'm okay. Yeah, you want to stay right here, otherwise you aggro the other one, fucker. I will say they actually made shields way more valid in Elden Ring, because you can now do like a powerful attack if you block and then do an attack. Like, I'm not talking about a parry either. It's called like a guard counter. And it's like if the shield hits your sword, you can literally immediately respond with the attack, and it's really powerful. Because for a long time, shields were not that useful in Souls games. Like, they tell you, like, the #1 noob trap is shields. They encourage you to, like, turtle and not be aggressive, and they say that it hurts you, and it does, because in the early game, yeah, you can turtle. You can have a shield and you can hide behind it. But as you play through the games and the games goes on, you can't do that. Especially later game. They have enemies that hit you so hard and so fast, there's literally no way you could block them all. And if you did, you would have so little stamina you couldn't attack. You need to learn to roll. You know, shields should be used for weaker enemies and parrying. You know, but people trying to block bosses, no. Roll. And that's why people love Bloodborne. One of the reasons is because there is no shields in Bloodborne. The game basically teaches you not to rely on shields because there fucking isn't any. Oh shit, I thought I was gonna die there for a second. Whew, fuck. Okay. And honestly, Blighttown is nowhere near as bad as it used to be. Fuck those dogs. Like, Blighttown back in the day had the worst frame rate imaginable. Literally averaged at like 10 frames a second. I'm not kidding. Like, it's basically stayed at like 10 frames a second. That's, I mean, basically unplayable. And it's a key example of some of the toxic attitude I was talking about.
Yeah, no, it's very hard. It's very hard to do anything if you have low frame rate. And it's not fun to play. And it wasn't like, oh, there's a little bit of this area that's at 10 frames. It's like the entire area of Blighttown was like locked at 10 frames a second. Even more powerful consoles couldn't fix it. Like Dark Souls 1 was backwards compatible, so you could play Dark Souls 1 on Xbox. This is before the remaster. You could play it on Xbox One. And even Xbox One X didn't get rid of the frame rate drops in Blighttown. Like, Xbox One X was like 15 times more powerful than the original 360. And it couldn't do it, because it wasn't just technology, it was poor optimization. Dark Souls 1 as a whole has poor optimization, or had, because they tried to make the engine do things it wasn't supposed to. Demon Souls was the game that started using this engine, and it had areas that were constrained and limited. In Dark Souls, they're like, hey, let's make much bigger areas that load into each other. And the engine just was not built for that. So it just couldn't take it. So Dark Souls 1 had all kinds of frame rate problems because of that. The engine just wasn't made for it. And Blighttown was the worst, I think, because it's loading up several areas, and because all these wooden structures are a lot of geometry for the game to load. Who can say for certain? That's just a theory. But either way, Blighttown ran like shit. And it actually kind of pisses me off because I see all these Dark Souls fans defending it. I love Dark Souls. I am a die-hard Dark Souls fan. But I will not defend Blighttown. You can't defend 10 frames a second. That's just bad. I'm sorry. Like, I had a friend back in the day who was like, it's not that bad, just little dips. I'm like, 10 frames a second isn't that bad to you? I'm gonna say no, it's pretty bad. And it's one of those things where, literally, how did this make it past the testing stage? How did Blighttown's performance make it into the finished game? I mean, because the frame rates drop so hard, there's no way you could not know. Anyone, even people who aren't familiar with games, can see it chugging. My grandmother, who's far from technical, yeah, just want to release games ASAP. That's sure. And that's why, there's all these people I've talked to who started playing Dark Souls 1 with this remaster. And that's great. It's great to bring new people into it. But some of the criticisms that I have of Dark Souls, a lot of people don't really understand because they didn't play the original version. I'm like, oh, the frame rate in Blighttown was awful, and they're like, what problems with hey, how's it going? How's it going? But a lot of people who started playing Dark Souls Remastered don't get the frame rate problems. They're just like, what frame rate problems? I'm like, oh, you haven't played the original. That being said, they did realize the problem. I have to commend them. They did realize the problem. Dark Souls 2 deliberately made a brand new engine to avoid that, and had a nearly perfect frame rate on the original version. So Dark Souls 2 learned the lesson, and Dark Souls 3, FromSoft, never released a game that performed that badly ever again. So they did take the fan feedback. Thank God. But, you know, people, you know, I hear people trying to say, Dark Souls 1 is the best game in the series, it's a masterpiece. I'm like, it's got a lot of fucking problems. I wouldn't worry about your keyboard, man. It's fine. I'm not a grammar Nazi. And you know, people bitch about the performance in Elden Ring. And don't get me wrong, Don't get me wrong. Next gen performance is not where it needs to be. On PS4, game runs great. Runs at 30, slightly below in heavy scenes. But that it runs like Dark Souls 3, which is what you'd expect for base PS4 and Xbox One, and it running as good as DS3 is really good because it's in an open world. It's way bigger. But on next gen, it's just not where it needs to be. Frame rate mode, the whole point of it is to hit 60 FPS, never comes close, ever. And quality mode is always above 30, which is good, but is uncapped. So, don't get me wrong. Frame rate in Elden Ring definitely needs to get patched. For real. But, worst case scenario in Elden Ring, it drops down to 45 frames a second. Worst case. Compared to 10 in this. I wouldn't say a big AAA game. And yeah, they are working on it. They already issued a statement saying they are working on it. I would say it's mid-range. You have to understand that FromSoft is not a AAA. In fact, that's what kind of makes Elden Ring's success kind of insane, because Elden Ring is selling AAA numbers from a mid-tier company. Like, Namco Bandai and FromSoft are mid-tier. And I say that with all the love in the world. I love them. They're just... Sony is AAA. Nintendo is AAA. EA is AAA, even though they suck ass. FromSoft is mid-tier. But yeah, they're working on it, you know? And I really hope they fix it. Because that's literally one of the only complaints that I can level at Elden Ring. Is that it has some performance issues. It's one of the only problems. Like, if they just fixed that problem, it would be fucking perfect. Elden Ring is so good. I'm just saying, like, I still try to hold them accountable, because it's people who let developers get away with stuff that enables the gaming industry to get worse. That's what I hate, because people think that if you like a game, that you should excuse whatever flaws it has. And bullshit! Bullshit you do. When you like a game, you call it on its flaws so they can improve it and get better. The good news is it honestly looks like fixing Elden Ring's performance will be pretty easy. And it shouldn't take that long. Digital Foundry, who I fucking love Digital Foundry, found that the main reason why it doesn't have good performance is they simply set the resolution too high in performance mode. On performance mode, the game has a maximum resolution and a lowest resolution, and it rises and lowers. However, they set it to 4K. So, Elden Ring is trying to hit 60 FPS in an open world at 4K, and it is just not going to do it. So it's always trying to hit that resolution, and it can't, so it's lowering the resolution constantly. But whenever it has to lower the resolution, you get that drop. So it's like the frame rate graph is like a fucking a seismic charge. And Digital Foundry is just like, if they just lowered the resolution just a little bit, it would be fine. Like, if they just lowered it. So, I feel like that's gotta be easy. I mean, they just gotta go in the system settings, lower the resolution, test it. It's not like they have to vastly rewrite parts of code. So, it's so close. Just a little bit of tweaking, and it's there. And hold on, you said something, and I didn't see all of what you said, so let me get it. And see, what the sad thing is, like I said, it's almost there. Because they have performance mode, and they have quality mode. Quality mode is native 4K, always. And it's locked at 30. Or not locked at 30, but it never goes below 30. And then you have performance mode, which is 60, but it can't make it. So if they just tweaked it a little bit, it'd be perfect. You would have quality mode, locked 4K 30, like it should be, at native 4K, and then you have performance mode, that's like 1440p or something, and locked 60. At native 4K, and then you have performance mode, that's like 1440p or something, and locked 60. Yeah, definitely, a high quality game is better than the game released early. Yeah. And I do want to clarify. That I still think Elden Ring, being released when it was fine. I don't want to make it sound like it was broken. It wasn't. Okay, it had a couple of glitches, it had some performance issues, but it's not like Cyberpunk was at launch. It's not unplayable, it's not broken. I didn't run into any game-breaking glitches, I didn't run into any quests, or anything like that. The worst glitch that I had in Elden Ring, and I played it for like 70 hours, I'm gonna play more. The worst glitch I had in Elden Ring was I jumped on my horse and the horse disappeared and I froze in place and died. And it cost me like 30 seconds, you know, and that was it. That was the worst. Yeah, and Cyberpunk is good now. But, you know, at the time, Cyberpunk was fucked at launch. Absolutely should have not launched in 2020. Now it's pretty much perfect. I've been playing through Cyberpunk on my PS5, and I had very little issues, very little glitches. It's not perfect, but it's where it needs to be. It's where it should have been. But that's the whole thing. Cyberpunk was not like that. Cyberpunk was still super playable, so, you know, people blow it out of proportion. It had some issues, but nothing game-breaking. Yeah, even though Project Red said it wasn't ready, they were like, get it out. See, I'm on the fence there, because if they didn't release the game, CD Projekt Red wouldn't have got their bonuses. Ever. And that actually meant they wouldn't have got the money that they worked for, okay? oh, thank you, I was watching 3 people. CD Projekt Red sets the game up in a way that's really good. In CD Projekt Red, you can take less money up front for a cut of the game's proceeds after it launches. So if you're willing to take less money in the beginning, you get a percentage of how much money the game makes when it releases. Now, as you can imagine, for a game like Cyberpunk, that's a lot of fucking money. And it was the investors, but I also want to stress that CD Projekt Red was also partially to blame. For 2 reasons I'm going to go over. Number 1, they kept telling people the game was going to release. I believe that you should delay a game if it's not ready. But you should also try to mitigate announcing the game before it's ready. Because a delay should only be done if possible. CD Projekt Red knew the game wasn't ready. They knew it wasn't anywhere close to being ready. They shouldn't even have announced a release date, because when you get hyped for a release date and they delay it, it sucks. So they kept announcing it, kept delaying it, kept delaying it, kept delaying it, and it's like you should have just delayed it, you know? Period. And not announced it. Just literally said, Not okay. I just believe that game developers shouldn't announce the release date until it's ready. They announce a release date. They announce a release date like a window. Like we want it to come out this year, hopefully. People want to clown on Bethesda. People want to shit on Fallout. But here's the thing. Bethesda was working on Fallout 4 for like 5-6 years. They did not announce the release date for Fallout 4 until they were in the beta. That's how you should do that. They did not announce it until they were fucking ready. So many mistakes as Bethesda made with that, they absolutely did it right. And of course, they had to fuck that up with Fallout 76. That's a different topic. But yeah, and so all of the people who made, I really like Fallout 4. Yeah, I love Fallout 4. I agree. I'm not saying that. Fallout 76 it was a train wreck at launch, but I actually really like the series. Fallout 4, I love. Fallout 3, I love. I'm actually in the minority. Fallout 3, I don't like New Vegas. Everybody wants to suck New Vegas' dick, and I thought New Vegas was disappointing. But so CD Projekt Red had it set up so that they would get their bonuses, a percentage of the game. So we're talking about developers getting $60,000, $70,000 bonus checks. That's a fucking huge amount of money for a developer. For a bonus? Close to $100,000? But due to what CD Projekt Red said, if they didn't deliver the game by 2020, they lost the bonus. So because CD Projekt Red kept running their mouth, they either had to release the game in 2020, or all of the employees would lose their bonuses. So, shame on CD Projekt Red for setting it up like that. That is on them. They should have never have put the employees getting the bonus as a condition on the game releasing at a certain date. What the fuck? So yeah, it was just a clusterfuck. And it actually makes me sad. Okay? Because I love Cyberpunk 2077. And it's a shame that so many people hate it. And I don't blame them for hating it because they had problems. Because I actually really love the game. The world, fucking awesome. Story, awesome. Keanu Reeves, not just a celebrity cameo. Don't forget to drink water, yeah. So much of Cyberpunk is so good. Goddamn fucking dark guy, piece of shit. And it's just a shame that so many people hate it because it has so much going for it. Not that, like I said, not that I blame them because they. Oh my god. And you know what? I understand that I was lucky. I got my PS5 on December 1st, 2020. The game came out on December 10th. I was able to play it on PS5, and on PS5 it had problems, but it was playable. At least on next gen, it was fucking playable. I can only feel bad for the people who paid $60 for Cyberpunk to buy a game that had 10 FPS. At least when I played it, it had a playable frame rate, so there is that. And I sincerely hope that these game developers start to realize that if they release these games not playable, they're only fucking themselves. They think that, I can fix it later. No, you can't. If you're lucky, you can. But there's a very strong chance that by the time you fix the game, nobody will fucking care. Ah, fuck, my weapon is almost broken. Of course it is. Of course it is. Fuck. Fucking Playtown. God, I hate Playtown. Yep, I'm gonna have to use a fucking homeward bone. I have to carry my ass. You motherfucker! Fucking Blighttown, dude. Okay. God damn it, and my fucking weapon is at risk. Yep. And to make matters fucking worse, it means my weapon is doing way less damage. Okay, we're gonna have to try and... Or we can just die. We can just die. That's a valid possibility too, you know? Yeah, back up. Yeah, man, I appreciate you. You know, my channel's growing all the time. I'm getting more and more views, getting more and more people watching. Hopefully one of these days I can, you know, get to a pretty good following on my channel. I'm about to hit 100 subs. So, I hope you have a good day. I stream all the time. You can always watch, you know? Always happy for more people. That's great, man. Have a good one. Alright, I'm gonna take a short break, and I might just play Dark Souls 2. This is getting on my fucking nerves.